FLS examination before being able to sit for the written or qualifying examination of the American Board of Surgery. And again, that may go forward with other implications down the line. Also, there are some hospitals now in the United States that have mandated that those who want to perform laparoscopic surgery pass FLS, so it may end up being required by hospital credential committees. It may give some medical legal protection. There are some insurance companies now that are picking up on this and trying to give a premium to those surgeons who perform laparoscopic surgery who have been FLS certified. And furthermore, it certainly generates CME. Self-learning is another reason to do this. And it's the only way to get that great pin. So here it is. And if you guys want it, you got to pass this test. So who would be interested in taking this? This was designed, again, this is not advanced stuff. This was designed for any surgeon who uses the laparoscope. So it can be general surgery, it can be gynecology, urology, pediatric surgery. Many other groups now, as they've seen the validation process that has gone around this, are now trying to tack on their own little flavor. So for instance, the pediatric surgeons have come up with a trainer box that's the size of an egg. So operating in a space of that size with similar tasks, but in a different scale. But I think all surgeons who perform laparoscopy could be candidates for this. The other thing that we've been doing is working with the gynecology associations to try and make this maybe less general surgery centric, more applicable to other disciplines, and likewise urology. It should be universal. It's non-procedure based. We point this for the fundamental knowledge and skills. When Jerry showed you those charts of the different skill levels from the different levels, that was in people who had not practiced. So this is something that we've shown that you can take medical school students and train them up to pass the FLS examination. This is not rocket science, but it does establish a certain bar. It is not meant for experts, although experts can benefit from the knowledge and demonstration of the skill should they choose to do so. It's been reviewed by the gynecologists, it's been reviewed by the pediatric surgeons, the urologists now are reviewing it as well, and it is being validated now. We have beta tests out there looking at gynecologists taking this exam, again, cold. When can you do this? Well, you know, it's really a training tool, so it can be implemented at any point along the training pathway. Again, it's mandated by the time of graduation for the residents as they get done. In our program, we actually start the interns on the basic skills in FLS. They take both the cognitive and the practical test without actually getting the certificate. But each year during the training program, they do this, and in our program, we mandate that all PGY4s pass the examination and actually get the certificate before they become a PGY5. And again, FLS may become a competency measurement ultimately. It was designed in order to do that. All of the validation was done to be able to allow FLS to withstand high-stakes scrutiny from attorneys or whatever else might come down the line. So we think that it could be used for credentialing, for risk management, for other things. Of course, we as an organization are not going to be the ones who run that mandate. It will be the other folks who might do that. You've heard a little bit, I believe, about this, the curriculum within residency, so I'm just going to gloss over this a little bit. But again, this is similar to what we have in our residency. So we have didactic sessions. We also have them on the skills box early on. And we've seen a big change now in the junior residents in terms of their ability at day one in the OR. It's not nearly as clumsy in terms of knowing where the instrument tips are and that sort of thing. Certainly having been in on lap choles early in the progress of this, the first 6 months was spent training the faculty, and then the next year was a chief resident case to doing lap chole, and now it's our interns doing lap choles on an outpatient basis. So you can go into the year 3, the formal FLS sessions. I think it's good to have distributed learning, so it's not just all in a week and then forget about it for the rest of their time, but rather to give them experience in the lab. And we also have a 24/7 access to the lab, so residents can go in and practice whenever they want. And this talks about year 4 testing days. Again, we test our residents during their PGY4 year before they get into the PGY5. Again, this is a separate curricula that can be instituted, so there are different ways of doing this. The FLS program should not just be considered as a very brief thing that can be done. This is something that can be distributed across the residency. There are aspects of this that are very pertinent to the junior residents, but also to the more senior residents. When the chiefs get on my service and do the laparoscopic Nissen fundoplications, they're doing intracorporeal suturing, and I give them a time limit. If they cannot put in a stitch and tie it within 3 or 4 minutes, then I take it back from them. They need to go back in the lab and practice more. So where is this being administered currently? This is the most updated view of where the test centers are in the United States. You can see there are still a few holes in the map, and we're working diligently this year trying to fill in all the holes and to make sure that there are adequate test centers distributed across the United States so that all of the training programs have relatively easy access, places where they can go and actually take the test, which is a proctored test, as you know. And this talks about the 61 test centers in North America. There are a number in Canada as well as spread across the United States. As you see at this meeting, we have an FLS course. We've also held it at the American College of Surgeons and continue to do that for the foreseeable future. More and more now we're doing train-the-trainer sessions in terms of how to get program directors up to speed on this to help their residents. And then Australia and New Zealand, that's the only other major international area that now mandates the use of FLS for what their trainees do. You know, you can, at your own institution as well, you can bring in packages. There are a number of individual and educational packages that you can obtain, actually bringing in proctors to help out. Our major goal this year with the ABS mandate has been making sure that all of the current PGY5s in the United States and Canada have had the opportunity to take the examination. We're now up to nearly 90% of the residents having passed the FLS examination. It's been a Herculean effort, particularly by the staff at the back of the room, who've really done a great job making sure that this has been available to all the residencies. And how, again, online, there are a number of different ways of accessing the FLS program. Obviously, you're here, you understand this, but it's easy to get on the website and find your way to the FLS organization if you so choose to do. Any other additional questions, or Jerry or Matt, did I not cover anything that you think is pertinent?
You covered it very well. Any questions from the audience? Practical, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure when the next Train the Trainer session is. Do we have one on the books? None on the books currently. We have held them intermittently at this meeting, at the APDS meeting, and at the ACS meeting. And essentially what we try to do during those, essentially a postgraduate course, is to get a bunch of program directors in the room as well as maybe their administrator who will be doing the hands-on testing to really run them through, okay, this is the FLS program, this is how you can implement it at your institution, this is the actual box, what do you do when you open it and put it together. So it's a lot of practical issues as well as laying out some of the potential curricula in which the FLS can be used. And then there are separate Train the Proctor sessions as well. We've held several now freestanding courses so that proctors from around the United States or Canada can come in and actually learn how to score the different technical parts of it and how to set up the administrative database at their own institution, how to get online and connect and that sort of thing. So a lot of it is actually nuts and bolts, but also for program directors, an idea of how to frame this in the framework of their overall curriculum of the residency.
What you might want to do is to leave your name and contact information with Carla at the back, and when there's the next course, she can notify you.
Yeah, and we're planning on holding a Train the Trainer course at this meeting next year down in San Antonio. Again, on the horizon is a standard FLS postgraduate course similar to this at the American College of Surgeons meeting. Certainly, we sense that there's a bigger need among general surgeons globally than here at SAGES, which is primarily a bunch of advanced laparoscopic surgeons, frankly. And also in the past, there was much more need for these freestanding courses because we didn't have as many test centers distributed across the United States. So I don't know if at the SAGES meeting in the future we'll hold this FLS course. It'll more likely be train the trainers and more advanced aspects of FLS. Other questions? Yeah. I'm sorry? How do you get the trainer? How can you become a trainer? You would need to indicate an interest in doing so to the administrators here, depending, are you in the United States or are you in a foreign country? Outside. So we are, at the current time, trying to evaluate exactly how we're going to roll this out to the rest of the world. But clearly make your interest known to the administrators. We anticipate over the next, again, this last year has been really focused on North America because of the American Board of Surgery mandate, and we just had to make sure we had the infrastructure ready to go. We have had interest from a number of foreign countries to be able to bring this, import this into the country. We have a desire to do so. We just have to wait and make sure we have the infrastructure that it would take to be able to fully support efforts abroad. But we plan to do that over the next year or two. Other questions? Okay, thank you very much.